Okay guys, let's work on this beautiful stylish triangular top. I've already folded my cloth into four, but I'll show you how I fold it. I first of all fold it into two, then I fold again in a triangular form. So I'm going to arrange the cloth. So this folded part is going to serve as the center of both my front and the back. So after arranging it, the next thing is to determine how wide I want the neck to be. Okay, so I would want the neck to be 7 inches, so I will use my tape to trace out 7 inches, and here to here is my 7 inches. So I'll mark it with a straight line. Here is 7 inches. So I have to pin this because this material is shifting. So this is the 7 inches. So I have to measure again to be sure that I have up to 7 inches. I have more than 7 inches, so I have to take it up a little. So I just mark out the 7 inches, and I'll measure it to be sure that I have exactly 7 inches. And looking at what I have here, I have exactly 7 inches. So from the center front, I'll come down by 1 inch. So from this angle, I'll connect it down to this 1 inch. So after that, I will now determine where the shoulder, how long, wide I want the shoulder to be. So from this part, I will measure the shoulder length, which is 16 inches from here. 16 inches will be okay by me. So or 17 inches, I'll mark 17 inches. That's the shoulder line. So from the shoulder line, I will determine the sleeve opening. So from, I don't know if you're seeing it. So from this angle, I will determine this shoulder length, which is 17 inches. So from the 17 inches, I will determine the sleeve opening, which is 9 inches. That's for me. Then from the center part, I will determine the length of the top, which is, I will be using, because I want the length to be more longer. So I'll be using 36 inches or 35 inches, is your choice. Let me use 36 inches. So from this 36 inches, I will connect it down to the sleeve opening. So from this sleeve opening, I will connect it down to this 36 inches. So after connecting it, I will measure where I want my stitches to start. So from here, I'll measure the hip line, my hip line, which is 12 inches, which is 12 inches, and I'll be adding freeness, that's 14 inches. So I hope you understand what I explained on this part. On the neckline, I marked out 7 inches because that's what I want for the neckline, 7 inches. I mark it with a straight line. Then from the neckline, I come down by 1 inch. Then from this side, I connect it down to the 1 inch. Then after that, I determine where the length of the shoulder. So the length of the shoulder, I want it to be 17 inches, and I have to measure 17 inches and I mark it. So from this 7 inches, I mark out my sleeve opening, which is 9 inches. Then from the neckline, I mark out the full length of the top, which is 36 inches. So from the 36 inches, I connect it down to the sleeve opening. Then after connecting it, I put my tape here and measure my hip measurement, which is 12 inches plus 2 inches freeness. That's 14 inches. I mark it. So all I have to do now is to cut out the neck line, then trim this the shoulder. I'll trim it open, trim it to this part. So if I am sewing, I'm going to sew straight to this part. Let me cut it first, then I'll show you the next thing to do. So after cutting out this way, on this angle, this part, I will come in by, you notice here I have a sharp edge. I'll come in by 1 inch and I'll carve it so that it will not have a sharp edge. So I'll cut out this part. Then on this part, I'll just come in like this and cut out the sharp edge that I have there. So after carving out this part, all I have to do is to open what I have. So but before I open what I have to notch this part, my sleeve opening. Then I have to notch my hip area. So all I have to do, as I open it this way, I'm going to sew from here down to this sleeve opening. I will stop. Then I'll start sewing from here down to the hip opening and I'll stop. So I'll do the same thing to the other side. So I'll take it to my machine and sew. Okay guys, I've sewed the shoulder. I've sewed it to this part, as you can see, and I've folded the armhole and I sewed this part to the hip line. I did the same thing to the other side. I did the same thing to this side also. So the next thing now is to hem the neck. I'll cut out a straight stripe so that I can use it to hem the neck. So I've cut out the stripe. So all I have to do is I'll place this at the front side of the cloth, at the front side, and I'll sew it all around. I'll sew it all around. After sewing it all around, I will now flip it inside and top stitch. That will be for the neckline. Thank you guys.